arithmetic and algebra. So what is the weightage of the topic first? Let us start with that. So when I talk about, of course, it is in quantitative ability area. I'm assuming that everyone knows about it कि आपसे जो है NMAT में कौन कौन से areas हैं and from which area how many questions are there. It's an adaptive exam, so you would be knowing about it, that from which area how many questions can you expect. So from quantitative aptitude area, this is the sub area arithmetic and algebra. How many questions can I expect? Approximately 1/4 of the section would be from arithmetic, 8 to 9% is from algebra. So together it will make approximately 1/3 of your QA section. Let me tell you, in NMAT, it also includes questions on data interpretation and data sufficiency as well. तो ऐसा नहीं है सिर्फ ये दो ही एरियाज इंपॉर्टेंट है हम लोगों के लिए. Yes, from CAT's perspective, I can say arithmetic or algebra तकरीबन they make 70 to 75% of the section, but in NMAT they make just 1/3 of the section because DI and DS is also there, which is of course not there in CAT QA section at least. Now, what are the topics that we are going to discuss today? The first one, percentages and its applications. Second, ratios and its applications. Time and work, time, speed and distance are something which is somehow, you can say nowadays it has become the soul of management entrance examination. You talk about any exam, these two areas would always be there. Linear equations, quadratic equations, logarithm and progression. Some of the major areas you can say which are important from NMAT's perspective, because NMAT does ask you questions on these areas. So these are the topics that I'm going to discuss in our today's class. What am I going to do? Let me just repeat once again for the new people as well. हम लोग आज के सेशन में ये करने वाले हैं that we will be talking about these topics in brief. ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत कुछ फॉर्मूले वगैरह मैं आपको बताऊंगा कौन कौन से यूज होते हैं, right? And any common mistake if it is there, I'll be talking about that as well. Then we'll be doing some questions based upon it in an aptitude way as I have always been doing with you. तो वही कोशिश करेंगे आज भी करने की, to just to give you an idea how do we do these questions fast, क्योंकि NMAT में आपके पास टाइम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इट इज एन एडेप्टिव एग्जाम, आई एम श्योर यू ऑल नो दैट. ठीक है, और जब आपका एग्जाम एडेप्टिव हो जाए तो उसमें एक बड़ी सी दिक्कत ये होती है, टाइम कम होता है, क्वेश्चंस आपको तकरीबन सारे करने होते हैं, बिकॉज इफ यू लीव सम क्वेश्चंस यू टेंड टू लूज मोर मार्क्स देन डूइंग देम रॉन्ग, राइट? सो स्पीड बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट देयर. दैट्स व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू इन आवर टुडे सेशन. क्वेश्चंस को कोशिश करेंगे कुछ एक एप्टीट्यूड तरीके से करने की. So let's start with the first thing, important formulas first of all. So for all these topics we'll be discussing some of the important formulas. Wherever you have a doubt, please do let me know. ठीक है, जहां आपको लगे सर ये थोड़ा सा समझा दो, ये मुझे नहीं पता है, just let me know through the chat box. I'll be discussing that as well, and then we'll move on to the questions straight away. Okay, here is the first formula. In percentages and its applications, these are the two major formulas that are used. And these are not only important from the perspective of a percentage question. You would see कि percentages और ratios ये दोनों ऐसे areas हैं, they are used a lot in data interpretation as well. और NMAT पे तो आपका DI भी उतना ही important है. So please keep them in mind कि ये भी उतना ही important हम लोगों के लिए रहेगा. Percentage increase or percentage decrease, what is that? Okay, when something increases, for example, a value is initially 120 and now it has become 180. Of course it has increased. How much has it increased? How do I find it out? This 180 is called the final value, this 120 is called the initial value, and the percentage increase is given by this formula on your screen, which is final value minus original value upon original value into 100. This original value you can also call as initial value. Original initial एक ही बात है तकरीबन. So final value 180, initial value 120 divided by initial value into 100. So that will give you the answer as 50%. The thing to keep in mind is the percentage increase or the percentage decrease, it is always calculated on the initial value. The base is always taken as the initial value. ये आपको ध्यान में रखना है because this will be used a lot in data interpretation. दूसरी चीज, अगर ये बात हो ही रही है तो साथ साथ बता देता हूं. When you have to calculate the SAGR, what is SAGR? It is the simple annual growth rate. Generally it is used in DI, right? DI में ज्यादा यूज होता है, क्वांट में नहीं. So SAGR, simple annual growth rate. So how do you calculate the simple annual growth rate? तरीका यही होता है. The only change is it is also divided by the number of years. और नंबर ऑफ ईयर्स का मतलब हाउ मेनी टाइम्स अ चेंज हैज अपीयर्ड. ठीक है, मतलब मान लीजिए एक वैल्यू पहले 123, फिर वो 150 हुई, फिर वो 180 हुई. दिस डज नॉट मीन देयर आर 3 years. 120 to 150, 150 to 180. So changes are happening twice. So we'll divide by 2 to get the SAGR. So if this 120 and 180 are figures for 2010 and 2012, you can say the SAGR would be given by 50 divided by 2, that is equal to 25%. That's what percentage increase or decrease is there. When we talk about successive percentage increase or decrease, generally we call it successive percentage change. You must have heard of this formula, a plus b plus ab by 100. But ये formula हम लोग actually तब use करते हैं, I mean when there is a change which is successive, a value is changed by a certain percentage, then that changed value is changed by another percentage. I'm using the word change because whether it is increase or decrease does not make a difference. इंक्रीज है तो इट विल बी यूज विद द पॉजिटिव साइन, डिक्रीज है तो इट विल बी यूज विद द नेगेटिव साइन. फॉर्मूला यही यूज होगा, a प्लस बी प्लस ए बी डिवाइडेड बाय 100. That's how you calculate the successive percentage change in a value. I repeat, successive percentage changes when a value is changed by a certain percentage and then that changed value is again changed by a certain percentage. We use this formula to get the net change. That was about percentages and its applications. I'll go to the second part now. The second part now is profit and loss or discount. Okay. What is profit, loss or discount? Let's talk about this as well. Profit or loss, first of all. A value is of to a quantity of a shirt is of 200 rupees. It is being sold for 250 rupees. Of course, there is a profit here. We all can see that something worth 200 is being sold for 250. It of course gives you a profit. How much profit is there? The profit is 50 rupees on 200 rupees. The thing to take care of is, of course, you would be knowing this formula already, but the important point is that it is calculated on the cost price, that is 200. So always keep that in mind, that percentage profit or percentage loss is always calculated on the cost price. And percentage profit or loss you can also call as a percentage, right, by which cost price is changed to become the selling price. For example, if I say that profit percentage is 25%, in other words, I can say cost price increased by 25% becomes the selling price. Okay. So profit percentage of 25% or saying that something is it changed by 25%, they are almost the same thing. ये दोनों एक ही बात है, but ध्यान ये रखेगा बेस इसका cost price रहेगा. When I talk about percentage discount now, what is percentage discount? You everyone know about it. We have been using it in a real life every single day. What is percentage discount? Right? What is percentage discount? It is discount. What is discount? Discount is marked price minus selling price. Discount is marked price minus selling price. You see a shirt, something is written on that. That is the marked price. At what price you purchase it, that is the selling price. Of course, selling price for the shopkeeper. For you, it will become the cost price. That discount calculated on marked price is called the percentage discount. Once again, the thing to take care of. In profit, loss and discount, you can say that profit and loss are always calculated on cost price. There is a percentage called markup percentage that is also calculated on cost price. The percentage discount is the only percentage which is calculated on the marked price. उसको हम लोग marked price पे calculate करते हैं. बाकी दोनों चीजें हमारी cost price पे ही calculate होती है. That was the second formula that we had regarding percentages and its applications. I'll move on now to the third one, that is about simple interest and compound interest. Though I know कि आप सबको पता होगा, simple interest P into R into T divided by 100, compound interest P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n minus P, and amount is equal to interest plus principal. That is the simple question over here. इसमें आपको कुछ भी नहीं करना है, simple formula है, but ये ध्यान ये रखना, when I talk about compound interest, some people write this as the formula of compound interest. They forget about P, right? P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n is the formula for amount. It is the formula at which you can say that if money increases, it will become this much, right? Subtract the principal from that, it will become the compound interest. So please keep that in mind. ये mistake मत कीजिएगा. और यहां पे in case of compound interest, the power n, that represents the number of time periods here. Those number of time periods should be in integers. If it is in decimals, for example, if is talking about 2.5 years, तो आप वहां 2.5 नहीं लिख देंगे, you will write 2 there. You will calculate the amount after 2 years. For half a year, you will calculate separately as simple interest. That's how you calculate in case of compound interest only. Okay. That was about this case. Now I'll move ahead to the next question. Now next is a part of ratios and its applications. Of course, I'm not getting into those complete details. How do we divide a number in a particular ratio of A is to B or A is to B is to C, something like that. वो आप सब लोगों को पता होगा. Componendo, dividendo कैसे लगाते हैं, proportion क्या होता है, that is known to everyone. So I'm just talking about weighted average first of all here. What is weighted average? Average is what? Sum of all the numbers divided by number of numbers. But weighted average is like, rather than calculating average of numbers, you are making groups of some numbers, right? So what do? How many numbers are there in this group? Multiplied by the average of the group. So number of numbers in a group multiplied by the average. This W1 weightage of that group is basically the number of members there. Similarly, weightage of another group, that is the number of members multiplied by their value, and so on and so forth, divided by total number of members, that is the total sum of all weightages. This is how you calculate the weighted average in these cases. और weighted average कुछ वैसा सा ही मतलब चीज आप मान लीजिए जैसा आपका normal average है. The only thing is things have been clubbed together in case of weighted average rather than giving them separately कि ये अलग 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 नंबर्स हैं, उन्होंने क्लब कर करके दे दिए कि 2 नंबर ऐसे हैं, 3 नंबर ऐसे हैं, 5 नंबर ऐसे हैं. That's what we call as weighted average. Nothing else is there. Next formula is about the allegation formula, right? तो एक तो ये इसका theoretical तरीका होता है, लेकिन allegation एक और भी तरीके से आप यूज करते हैं. Let us say something worth 24 rupees per kg. There is another thing which is 60 rupees per kg. They are mixed to make something which is at 45 rupees per kg. In what ratio they should be mixed? We take the difference of these two numbers. We take the difference of these two numbers and we say they are mixed in a ratio of 3:7, right? We all know about it, I suppose, है ना? ये सबको पता है कि जो दो हमारे पास एक एवरेज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं, we write them at the top. We write the average characteristic of the resultant mixture in the middle, and we take the differences in cross. That gives us the ratio of their weightages. ये जो ratio ultimately आता है, it is the ratio of their weightages. लेकिन एक important बात यहाँ पे जरूर है, that the common mistake that many of the people might make here, you might not be checking this number should always be lesser than one of them, greater than the other. So therefore it will always subtract 1 and it will be subtracted from 1. From one number it will be subtracted and the other number it will be subtracting. So that's how you'll be getting it. Ratios and its allegation ke case mein, this is a very important point. The middle number is always in the middle of the two numbers. एक से बड़ा होता है, एक से छोटा होता है, and this final ratio that you get here, it is the ratio of the weightages. If ever you have a doubt, what are weightages? While calculating this, whatever you write in the denominator, that is your weightage. How do you calculate price per kg? Total price divided by total kg. This is the ratio of kgs then. How do you calculate speed? Distance divided by time. This will be the ratio of time if you write the average speeds. So that's how you would be able to know कि हमारा एलिगेशन में जो रेशियो आता है वेटेजेस का, उसमें वेटेजेस क्या होती हैं. व्हाट डू यू कॉल एज वेटेज? वो चीज होती है हमारे पास. I hope you have understood this point as well. I'll move ahead from here. The next point now that we have is about time, speed and distance. Who does not know this formula? Who does not know this formula? जानते हैं आप लोग. एवरेज स्पीड में मैं आपको एक बात कहना चाह रहा हूं. If the distance is same for two speeds x and y, if the distance is same, the average speed is given by 2xy upon x plus y. And if the time is same, ठीक है, for two speeds x and y, if the time is same, the average speed is given by x plus y divided by 2. अगर डिस्टेंस सेम है तो 2xy upon x plus y, और अगर टाइम सेम है then x plus y divided by 2. This is how you calculate the average speed in case the distance is same or in case the time is same. Average speed is not average of the speeds. ये हमेशा ध्यान रखना, वो डायरेक्ट नहीं होता average of speeds. It will be average of the speeds only when the time is same. दो केसेस में टाइम इक्वल है, जितनी देर वो स्पीड से चला उतनी ही देर वो स्पीड से चला, द एवरेज वुड बी द एवरेज ऑफ द स्पीड्स. लेकिन अगर डिस्टेंस सेम, द डिस्टेंस कवर्ड एट दिस स्पीड and the distance covered at this speed are equal, then average speed would not be the average of the speeds. It will be calculated by 2xy upon x plus y, as you see written on your screen. Okay. So that was about time, speed and distance. I'll move ahead now to relative speed. Relative speed मेरे ख्याल से आप सब लोग जान रहे होंगे फिर से. If the objects are moving in the same direction, the relative speed is the difference of their speeds. If the objects are moving in the opposite direction, the relative speed is the sum of their speeds. Relative speed is used. When is it used? Relative speed is used when you have to find the speed of the distance between two people. At what speed the distance between two people is increasing or decreasing, that's what we call as relative speed. मतलब दोनों सेम डायरेक्शन में चल रहे हैं तो डिस्टेंस किस स्पीड से बढ़ रहा है? a माइनस बी. दोनों ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में चल रहे हैं तो उनके बीच का डिस्टेंस किस स्पीड से कम हो रहा है? That is a plus b. दोनों दूर जा रहे हैं तो किस स्पीड से बढ़ रहा है? That is a plus b. So whenever the question would be in how much time this guy would be this much meters ahead, in how much time this guy would be this much meters behind, in how much time they are going to meet, in all those cases the speed that you use is relative speed. That is the formula for relative speed here. I know I'm going a bit fast. इसके दो reasons है. पहला, I think that all these things are pretty basic. You all know about them. I'm just trying to brush up them for you, and I'm also trying to give you the idea कि कहाँ पे use करोगे, क्या-क्या common mistakes हैं. Second important thing is मैं चाहता हूं कि हम questions ज्यादा से ज्यादा discuss कर पाएं ताकि एक बार ये revise करके फटाफट question पे आए, and after that we should be feeling that okay, arithmetic और algebra तो sort हो गया अपना, मतलब ये तो हम लोगों ने कर लिया. That is the main purpose of it. चलिए जी आगे बढ़ जाते हैं. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज क्रॉसओवर टाइमिंग. क्रॉसओवर टाइमिंग क्या होते हैं? When two people start moving towards each other, let's say A from here and B from here, they are moving towards each other and they met at a point, let's say C. After meeting at C, A takes TA time, and after meeting at C, B takes TB time to reach their destinations. Then what is the ratio of their speeds? That is given by crossover timings. They start at the same time, but after meeting, one guy takes some more time, one guy takes less time, and they reach the destinations. So what is the ratio of their speeds according to those times? This is the formula. The ratio of their speeds is inverse of the ratio of their times, but with a square root. S1 by S2 is not T1 by T2, it is T2 by T1. होता भी है ये, स्पीड और टाइम का रेशियो इनवर्स होता है ना. यहां पे बस एक और डिफरेंस है, that it has become the square root of that. So square root of T2 by T1 is the ratio of their speeds. That's how we get the ratio of crossover times. चलिए जी फटाफट आगे बढ़ जाते हैं. Now we'll talk about quadratic equation. How do we solve a quadratic equation? One is splitting the middle term. I'm not talking about that. I'm sure कि वो आप सबको पता होगा, right? और दूसरा फॉर्मूला होता है श्रीधराचार्य's formula, which is written here. X is equal to minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. That is the other formula to find out the roots of a quadratic equation. But what if the roots are given? Equation is to be formed. ये रहा formula. X square minus sum of the roots into x plus product of the roots is equal to 0. That is the equation when the roots are given to you and you have to form the equation. Third, sum of the roots and product of the roots are given by, sum is given by minus b by a, product is given by c by a. What if we have product of the roots as 1? That means if c and a are equal, you look at a quadratic equation, आपको दिखता है x square का कोफिशिएंट और लास्ट कांस्टेंट टर्म, ये दोनों बराबर हैं. इसका मतलब ये है roots are reciprocal of each other. If one root is 2, the other would be 1 by 2. If one root is 3 by 2, other would be 2 by 3. That's what we mean by that. What if the sum of the roots is 0? Minus b by a is 0. इसका मतलब roots are negative of each other. If one root is 3, other would be minus 3. One would be root 5, other would be minus root 5. That means अगर sum 0 है तो वो नेगेटिव है एक दूसरे के, प्रोडक्ट 1 है, इसका मतलब they are reciprocal of each other. That's about quadratic. The second thing now is about discriminant. Discriminant आप सब जानते हैं, b square minus 4ac. What if it is less than 0? We have imaginary roots which are conjugate of each other. What is conjugate? I do not know. Do not worry about it. It's not important. Only thing is roots are imaginary. If d is greater than 0, there are two cases, greater than 0 or equal to 0. If it is greater than 0, the roots are real and distinct. If it is equal to 0, the roots are real and equal. And once again, if they are greater than 0, again two cases. If it's a perfect square, roots are rational. If it's a non-perfect square, the roots are irrational and again conjugate of each other. That means if one is 3 plus root 5, other would be 3 minus root 5. लेकिन ये ध्यान रखिएगा, there is a condition for that A, B and C they would be rational. अगर ये rational है तब ऐसे केस में होता है. वैसे तो ए और सी रैशनल होने चाहिए, बी रैशनल ना भी हो तो भी काम चल जाता है, लेकिन हाँ ये खास ध्यान रखना है आपको, दे शुड बी रैशनल. इन दैट केस यू कैन से सो. ओके एवरीवन, that was about quadratic equation. What is next that we have here? It is logarithm. Simple rules, you all know that log a to the base a is equal to 1. I have not written them. Log 1 is always equal to 0. ये कुछ चीजें तो पता ही होती हैं. Apart from that, log mn is log m plus log n. Log m by n is log m minus log n. Log m to the power n is n log m. Power बाहर आ जाती है. So this c comes outside. It becomes c log b to the base a. But if the base has a power, it comes as a reciprocal outside. So अगर base की power k थी तो बाहर आके 1 by k बन जाती है. It is 1 by k into log b to the base a. And finally, a to the power log b with base a is equal to b. A to the power log b with base a is equal to b. That's all that we have in logarithm. Some of the formulas which can be used in most of these questions. And then we have progressions. आपको पता है इसमें जनरली हमारे पास Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. It is the nth term of an AP series. Sum of n terms is given by n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, or n by 2 into a plus l, where l stands for the last term of the series. एक और चीज मैं आपको बता देना चाह रहा हूं, that is average of an AP series. Average of an AP series, it is equal to the middle term. लेकिन मिडल टर्म तो तब आएगी जब ऑड नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स होंगी. इफ देयर आर 3 टर्म्स, वन टर्म इज मिडल टर्म. इफ देयर आर 5 टर्म्स, वन टर्म इज द मिडल टर्म, राइट. बट इफ देयर आर इवन नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स, अगर ऑड टर्म्स है तो मिडल टर्म है, बट इफ देयर आर इवन नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स, देन इट इज द एवरेज ऑफ मिडल टू टर्म्स. देन इट इज द एवरेज ऑफ मिडल. मतलब मान लीजिए आपके पास 5 टर्म्स है, देन एवरेज वुड बी थर्ड टर्म, वो तो बीच में आई. 7 टर्म्स है, एवरेज वुड बी फोर्थ टर्म, वो बीच में आई. बट इफ देयर आर 6 टर्म्स, द एवरेज वुड बी द एवरेज ऑफ थर्ड एंड फोर्थ. जो मिडल में 2 आएंगी उन दोनों का ही एवरेज जो होगा वो मिडल कहलाएगा. दैट्स अबाउट एपी सीरीज. जीपी में क्या होता है? जीपी के कुछ फॉर्मूले होते हैं. nth टर्म इज a into r to the power n minus 1. सम ऑफ n टर्म्स हार्डली यूज्ड. ज्योमेट्रिक जो आपका इनफाइनाइट टर्म्स का जो सम है, this is something which is useful for you. It is a upon 1 minus r, where r is not equal to 1. These are some of the rules that might be used in questions of NMAT. Anything that you want to ask, guys? Sir will have practice questions in these sessions. Yes, Darshan. Once I complete these formulas, I'll of course be going through the practice questions after that. हर क्लास में करेंगे, जितनी भी क्लासेस हैं, some highly probable questions would be discussed in these classes. Here also I'll be discussing them for sure. Sir, I have a question. If we get stuck in NMAT problem, should we mark wrong and move on? Yes, Pradeep. तो ठीक है. Do not spend too much of time. If you are getting stuck, तो उसको करो और आगे निकल जाओ. हाँ, शुरू के टाइम में थोड़ा ज्यादा टाइम लगा सकते हो उन क्वेश्चंस पे, लेकिन बाद में नहीं. ये ध्यान में रखिएगा. ठीक है, बाद में नहीं कर सकते. ओके, चलिए फिर आगे बढ़ जाते हैं. नाउ आई थिंक वी हैव द क्वेश्चंस विद अस. हियर इज द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. प्लीज ट्राई दिस. आई एम गिविंग यू एग्जैक्ट 1 minute फॉर यू. Take a minute and start solving it. All of you try this first. Try it once. All of you, give me an answer. Any answer from anyone? Let us start discussing now. While processing almonds into its powder, a considerable amount of oil gets reduced. How much almonds must be processed to yield 1 kg of powder if the almonds contain 50% oil and powder obtained from the almonds contain 15% oil? How do you do these questions? ध्यान से सुनिएगा. Okay. So, when I talk about almonds first, their total quantity we have to figure out. But how much oil do they have? They have 50% oil. So the other 50% is, let's say, it is the pulp of the almonds. Okay? Then we want to make a powder out of them. And how do we make a powder? He says, while processing, a considerable amount of oil gets reduced. So some oil will go out of them, and then we will be getting some, powder from that. अब when we need this powder, ये powder हमें चाहिए 1 kg or we can say 1000 grams. It will have 15% oil. If it will have 15% oil, 85% pulp is there. How do we do these questions fast? Let me tell all of you. इनको करने का एक फास्ट तरीका क्या है? दर्शन is getting the answer as E और बबली कह रही है आंसर is B. तो चलिए देखते हैं क्या सही तरीका है. Always work on the quantity which does not change. Here the quantity of oil is changing, but the quantity of pulp is not changing. उस पे काम कीजिए. मान लीजिए x kg almonds है. So pulp here is 50% of x, right? And pulp here is 85% of 1000. और ये तो दोनों सेम ही होने चाहिए. Pulp is not changing, right? So by this logic, I am getting x as 1700. Straight away, I can say it is 1.7 kg as my answer. Simple. In the total almonds, I have oil as well as non-oil, right? Oil is being reduced now because when you process them, he says considerable amount of oil gets reduced. Oil तो चला गया, but जो non-oil चीज है, जो pulp है मेरे पास, that is not changing. So whatever it was, right, it would remain the same. So if currently in 1000 grams I have 85% pulp, that is 850 grams, इसका मतलब pulp तो पहले भी 850 था, but that 850 was 50% of the total almonds. So whose 50% is equal to 850? The answer is 1700 grams or 1.7 kg. So B option is the right answer for this question number 1. I'm sure you all got the answer correct now. You all have understood this. I'll move ahead from here to question number 3 on your screen. Sorry, question number 2 on your screen. It's here. Try it first. After that, we'll be doing it together. So what is the answer for this question number 2? Can I get some answers from your side as well? Very fast we have to try to do these questions. That's the real way of doing these sessions. इनका purpose ही actually ये है. Here is question number 2. Any answer, guys? Okay, I don't see any answer, so let's start doing it. Of course, there are easier way of doing this. Some conventional way of doing this as well. I'll try to give you an easy way of doing it. करना शुरू करते हैं. The sum of first 30 terms of an AP is 630. If the 30 terms have a sum of 630, can I say average of 30 terms will be 15.5th term? है ना? मैंने बताया आपको even number of terms होती हैं, then the average is the middle term. So 15.5th term, that is in the middle, it would be the average of these 30 terms. तो 30 टर्म्स का एवरेज 630 है, तो इसका मतलब 15.5 टर्म क्या आ जाएगी, 630/30, दैट इज 21. Okay, 15.5th term, or you can say the average of 15th and 16th term is 21. Similarly, the average of next 30 terms, average of next 30 का मतलब है term number 31 to term number 60. The average of those would be 45.5th term. Their sum is given as 850. So what is the average? 850 divided by 30, that is 85/3. So first 30 terms have an average of 21, which is 15.5th term. Next 30 terms have an average of 85/3, which is 45.5th term. Question आपसे क्या पूछ रहा है? What is common difference? 15.5th to 45.5th. There are 30 more terms. That means 30 times of D is equal to this minus this. तो ये आपका आ जाएगा 85/3 minus 21. तो कितना आता है ये? 63 माइनस होगा 24, नहीं 63, 22 divided by 3 is equal to 30D. So what is D? It is 22/90 or 11/45. So 11/45 is given in option A. Option A is my right answer. अब ये एक ऐसा तरीका आपको जनरली लग रहा होगा 15.5th टर्म तो होती ही नहीं, 45.5th टर्म भी नहीं होती है, राइट? ये सही बात है, that 15.5th is the average of 15th and 16th. And 40.5 is actually average of 45th and 46th. That means your questions would become easy. Of course, you could have done this question by using the formula as well. 30/2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 630. Then 60/2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 630 plus 850. दो इक्वेशंस थे, दो वेरिएबल्स थे आपके पास, सॉल्व करके हम लोग कॉमन डिफरेंस निकाल सकते थे. बट आई डोंट थिंक दैट वुड बी नीडेड. आप इसको आसानी से कर सकते हैं जैसे हम लोगों ने अभी कर लिया है. Just do that, it will become easy for you. Try to understand these methods because they will make your questions very easy. जितना आप alternate तरीके से करना शुरू करेंगे आपको जल्दी इसका आंसर मिलेगा. Rido anyways had got the correct answer for this question. Very good, Rido. I'll move ahead now to the next question. Question number 3 on your screen is here now. Let me see how do you do this question. Then I'll give you a good way of doing this question as well. As I said before, ये सभी क्वेश्चन आप एप्टीट्यूड से करोगे तो बहुत जल्दी और बहुत अच्छे भी लगेंगे करने में. इट लुक्स लाइक दैट यू आर गिविंग अ गुड सॉल्यूशन टू द क्वेश्चन. Once again, I'll wait for some time for some answers from your side. Would like to see how do you do answer these questions. Any answer from anyone? Okay, Rido has answered, Shubham has answered. That's great. We have got two answers. Chaliye, let's start doing it. It says the average of three numbers is 48. See, how do I do these questions? मैं आपको बताता हूँ सीधा सीधा. मेरे को वही लॉजिकल तरीका आता है करने का. So let's talk about that. He says average of three numbers is 48. So let us assume three numbers are 48, 48, 48. The average of first two numbers is 52. If average of first two is 52, that means they are 52, 52. That means they are 4 more than the average, 4 more than the average. If they are 4 more than the average, this should be 8 less than the average, right? Because ultimately the total deviation from the average should be 0. So if two of them are 4 more, one would be 8 less. So 52, 52, 40 मैंने तीन numbers ले लिए. And the average of first and third number is 40. अब इन दोनों का एवरेज भी 40 होना चाहिए. This is already 40. If I make this as 40, I have again taken a deviation of 12. इसको मैंने 12 से डिक्रीज किया है. So this number should be increased by 12 because ultimately the deviation should not change. Right? You will see everything would be satisfied by this. Those 48, 48, 48 were there. I have taken those first two 48 as 52, मतलब प्लस 8 का डेविएशन आया तो तीसरे माइनस 8 कर दिया. फर्स्ट एंड थर्ड एवरेज शुड बी 40, तो थर्ड को 40 किया, फर्स्ट वाले को 52 माइनस 12 करके 40 किया, तो बीच वाला 64 हो गया. क्वेश्चन सेज फाइंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन सेकंड एंड फर्स्ट नंबर. इनका डिफरेंस बताइए. द आंसर इज 24. यस, you anyway saw the answer. So 24 is the right answer for this question. Isn't it a wonderful way of doing the question? Right? एंड आई सी बहुत लोगों ने सही आंसर दिया था. दर्शन ने भी इसका सही आंसर दिया, सत्यदीप ने भी सही आंसर दिया था. वेरी गुड गाइस, वेरी वेरी गुड. Many people have given the right answer to this, but I don't see any correct answer on YouTube. Rather, any answer on YouTube. People on app, they are answering it fast. Very good. So 24 is the right answer for this question number 3. I'll move ahead now. Let's see what happens in question number 4 on your screen now. Can I see some answers for this question on YouTube as well? People on the app, they are answering fast. Okay, so I'm sure that many of you would have tried this question. Darshan has given an answer. Let's see what is the right answer for this question. Let us start doing it. करना शुरू करते हैं. चलिए जी. तो क्या बता रहे हैं इस क्वेश्चन में वो? Raman, when could not find buyers for his fruit at 22 per kg, reduced the rate to 17 per kg, but used a faulty balance of this. Find his loss percentage. Let me tell you the simpler way of doing this. I need the ratio of SP by CP. Keep one thing in mind. If it's a case of loss, SP by CP is less than 1. If it's a case of profit, SP by CP is greater than 1. How do we use that? Something worth 22 per kg, he starts selling for 17 per kg. 22 का item he is selling in 17. He is making a loss by this. Loss means less than 1. Less than 1 means smaller number in the numerator, larger in the denominator. If it's a loss, write the smaller number above. If it's a profit, write the larger number above. So you are selling an item of 22 for 17 rupees. You are creating a loss because of that. So 17 is written above, 22 is written below. Next. He is using a faulty balance which weighs of weight 550 grams in place of 1 kg, matlab 1000 grams. In place of 1000 grams, he is using 850 grams. Because of this transaction, he is having a profit. In place of 1000 grams, he is giving people 850 grams. So he is having a profit by that. Profit means larger value in the numerator, smaller in the denominator. That's it. Your job is done now. 0 is cancelled out with 0. 17 5s are 85. 5 20s are 100. 2 10s are 2 11s are. I have SP by CP as 10 by 11. That means an article of 11 rupees is being sold for 10 rupees. That means on an article of 11 rupees, there is a loss of 1 rupee. On 11, there is a loss of 1 that is equal to 9.09%. And that is the right answer for us. Option C is the correct answer. 9.09% loss. Okay. So later on, I see Satyadeep had given the right answer. Ridho has given the right answer. Nanimpalli also answered, but that was close. Okay, not the correct one. So these are the correct answers for this question. But how is that possible? No one is answering on YouTube. Am I audible to you guys? On YouTube, people, am I audible? Please confirm it once to me. Because this generally does not happen that people do not answer on YouTube. On app, I see many people are answering, but I did not get any answer for the last three questions, I suppose. कोई आंसर नहीं आया किसी का भी. Why is that so? On YouTube, can people answer me? Am I audible to you guys? Is all fine? Please keep answering the questions. Okay? Yes, I am audible. Then please answer as well. Only Babli Bihari is answering. I think Soumya is the name, right? Okay, I'll move ahead. Question number 5 on your screen now. Please try it. What is the right answer for this question number 5? Okay, Charvi is also saying yes. Any more answers now? A question from logarithm. Generally, people find it difficult, but logarithm is actually not that difficult a concept. Somehow we find it a little difficult, but it is not. Rido has given the answer very fast. Very good. Chaliye, let's start doing it now. So p square plus q square is r square, and we have to find the value of this. First of all, the first property is 1 by log b to the base a is equal to log a to the base b. So let's use it. It will become 2 into log of r plus p with base q plus 2 into log of r minus q with base q, r minus p, sorry, with base q. 2 तो कॉमन आ ही जाएगा, and log m plus log n is log mn, so it will become log of r plus p into r minus p, that is r square minus p square. What is r square minus p square from here? It is q square. So we have twice of log of q square with base q. This is 2. 2 into 2 is 4. Yes, 4 is the right answer for this question. Very easy question. Logarithm based questions are anyway generally easy. Somehow we are very much afraid of logarithm. हमें लगता है logarithm तो हमसे होगा ही नहीं, but it's an easy question. 4 is the right answer for this question number 5. We have to go a little fast now. I'll move ahead to question number 6 on your screen now. Try to answer this question. A little difficult, a little lengthy. Question number 6 on your screen. Can I have an answer on YouTube this time? It's a slightly lengthy question though. So I think we should start doing it straight away because it's a little difficult. Difficult तो नहीं, थोड़ा lengthy बोल सकते हैं actually इसको. Find the value of p for which one of the roots of the equation is thrice the other root. Let's say the roots are alpha and 3 alpha. So alpha plus 3 alpha is sum of the roots, that is minus b by a. Minus b by a. And what is product of the roots? It is alpha into 3 alpha. Alpha into 3 alpha is c by a. I have to calculate the value of p. That means I have to eliminate alpha. Now this value was equal to 4 alpha. If I put the value of alpha from here in the second equation, I'll get my answer probably. So take this 4 on that side and square it. So 3 into alpha square. What is alpha square? It is 4p minus 1 whole square divided by 4 square into p square minus 6p plus 3 whole square it is equal to 3 by p square minus 6p plus 3. It was equal to 3 alpha square. I took alpha from here and I put here in case of this. And now this is the equation. 3 and 3 are cancelled out. This square would cancel out with this complete thing. Let's write it now. 4p minus 1 square. It is 16p square plus 1 minus 8p. On the right hand side, I have 16p square minus 96p plus 48. They will also cancel out. तो बस काफी हद तक तो काम हमारा हो ही गया है. So now I have 88p is equal to 47. So p is 47 divided by 88. B option is the right answer. As I said, a little lengthy question, therefore I did not discuss about it, but still Rido has answered correctly. Very good, Rido. Very good. So the correct answer for this question was 47 divided by 88. That was question number 6 for all of you. I'll move ahead to question number 7. Let's see who answers fastest. I'm still saying I do not see any answers on YouTube. Please answer it, guys. सिर्फ देखने से कभी कुछ फायदा नहीं होता है. प्लीज सॉल्व कीजिए. सॉल्व करने से फायदा होगा. Try to give answers to these questions. You have question number 7 on your screen now. So what is the value of P now according to this? Sorry, this is question number 7 that we are having. Which all statements are correct? What are the possible values of n? I'll see at least one answer. After that, I'll start discussing this question as well. Looks like Ridho is going to give the answer first. What is the right answer for question number 7? Okay, once again, Ridho has answered it. No one else? Again? Chaliye, let's start doing it then. Karte. It says a filling pipe can fill a tank in 16 hours. A drain pipe can drain it in 20 hours. So filling pipe takes 16 hours. The drain pipe takes 20 hours. And he says a system of n types can fill the tank in exactly 8 hours. Which of the following are possible values of n? So I am assuming the total capacity of the tank as an LCM of 16 and 20, which is 80 liters. Let us say the total capacity is 80 liters. The filling pipe is filling in 5 liters every hour. The draining pipe is taking out 4 liters every hour. He says there are a total of n pipes that are working. So they are filling it in exactly 8 hours. If you fill 80 liters in 8 hours, that means every hour 10 liters is being filled. Every hour 10 liters is being filled. Now my point is, let us say A pipes are filling pipes, B pipes are draining pipes. So A pipes will fill in 5A, B pipes will drain out 4B, and ultimately I need 10 every hour. So 5A minus 4B, I am looking for 10 by this. 5A minus 4B, I am looking for 10. Mohan also got the answer. Let's see. 5A minus 4B is 10. How do I get these values of A and B? See, the point is this 5A is a multiple of 5. 10 is a multiple of 5. 4B should also be a multiple of 5. What is the first value of B that can be a multiple of 5? It is 0. When it is 0, A is equal to 2. Next value of B is 5. When it is 5, A is equal to 6. It can be 10 as well. When it is 10, A will be equal to 10. Similarly, when it is 15, A would be equal to 40. So the total number of pipes is 2 plus 0, 2, 6 plus 5, 11, 10 plus 10, 20, 14 plus 15, 29. I see they are increasing by 9 every time. They are increasing by 9. So 2, is it there? No. 11, is it there? No. 20, is it there? Yes. 29, is it there? Yes. After that, we'll be having 38, is it there? No. 47, is it there? No. तो इसका मतलब ये दो ही बनते हैं फिर, ठीक है, 1 and 3 they are given in option B. So both 1 and 3 are possible. So the correct answer for this question is actually option B. Both 1 and 3 are possible. 9999 से इंक्रीज करते रहो, 2 plus 9 11, 11 plus 9 20, 20 plus 9 29. So that way if you go on, there is a possibility of 29, there is a possibility of 20. So there are two possibilities according to which this can happen. My answer is option B, that is both 1 and 3. That was question number 7. I am sure you all have understood. I'll move ahead now to question number 8, last 3 questions of the day. Let's start with question number 8. I'm sorry, I forgot to just remove this. This is my rough work which I was doing while doing this question. What is the answer to this next question according to you? The cost of 3 mangoes, 5 oranges and 8 chikus is 540, and the cost of 5 mangoes, 4 oranges and 9 chikus is 750. Find the cost of 9 mangoes, 2 oranges and 11 chikus. There is a common way of doing all these questions. I'm sure you are aware of that. Generally, how do we solve these questions? Rido has got the answer. Very good. Soumya has got the answer. चलिए फिर करना शुरू करते हैं इसको. The cost of 3 mangoes, let's call it 3M. 5 oranges, let's call it 5R. 8 chikus, let's call it 8C. This is equal to 540. 5 mangoes, let's call it 5M. 4 oranges, let's call it 4R. 9 chikus is 9C. That is given as 750. And he's asking you what is the cost of 9 mangoes, 2 oranges and 11 chikus. That is what the question is. So what is the general way of doing this question? The general way of doing the question is multiply this first equation by m, second equation by n and add them. So coefficient of mango would be 3m plus 5n. Okay. Coefficient of oranges would be 5m plus 4n. And coefficient of chikus would be 8m plus 9n. This whole will be equal to 540m plus 750n. अब m और n कैसे मिलेंगे? I want 9 in the coefficient of mangoes. So 3m plus 5n should be equal to 9. 3m plus 5n should be equal to 9. And 5m plus 4n is equal to 2. 5m plus 4n is equal to 2. So there are two variables. There are two equations. How do we solve them? We all know. मेरे ख्याल से ये तरीका तो आप सबको पता ही है. After that, just do that and put those values of m and n here and you will get the answer. That's one way of doing it. Okay? The second way is just try to multiply by them with some random constant so that you get these 9, 2 and 11 as the coefficients of mangoes, oranges and chikus. For example, 3 और 5 से आपका 9 कैसे बनेगा जरा सोच के देखो. 3 और 5 से 9 बनेगा आपका 3 2 जा 6, 3 3 जा 9, 3 4 जा 12, 3 5 जा 15 minus 6, 3 6 जा 18 minus 9 नहीं बनेगा 21. ये बहुत दूर जा रहा है. ठीक है. क्या 5 और 3 के मल्टीपल से कहीं बनेगा? 5 का डबल 10 minus something is not 9. 5 3 जा 15 minus 6. Yes. If you multiply this by 3, 5 3 जा 15. and multiplied by -2. 15 minus 6 will give me 9. Try this here as well. 4 into 3, 12. 12 minus 10 is 2. Yes, satisfies? That's your answer. So 750 into 3, 540 into minus 2. That will be the answer. 2250 minus 1080. 1170 is the correct answer for this question. You might say, sir, what about Chikus? You didn't check that. When two of them will satisfy, the third one would automatically satisfy. If it does not, that automatically means the answer is cannot be determined. But because the options did not have cannot be determined, so I did not even check that. वो हमें check करने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी. So just I checked two of the solutions that give me the answer. Generally, this is the better way. कन्वेंशनल मेथड तो वही है, m और n से मल्टीप्लाई करो, इक्वेशंस निकालने की कोशिश करो, बट हमेशा वो इक्वेशंस बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है. You can just try by checking with some random numbers whether they satisfy or not, and through that you can get the answer for the question. That was question number 8. I'll move ahead now to question number 9, and now we are moving towards the last question as well after this. This is question number 9, after which I'll be having question number 10, the last question of the day. So can I have some more answers now for this question at least? In the last question, Rido answered, Mohan answered, and Soumya answered. What about this time? Can I have a few more answers? Question number 5. Looks like an easy question though. चलिए, let's start solving this as well. करना शुरू करते हैं. क्या कहता है ये? A solution of sugar and honey having 20% sugar is mixed with another solution having 60% sugar in a ratio of 1:3. 20% sugar mixed with 60% sugar in a ratio of 1:3. Resultant कितना बनेगा? क्या तरीका है? 20 into 1, that is 20. 60 into 3, that is 180, divided by 1 plus 3, which is 4. So 20 plus 180 is 200. 200 divided by 4 is 50%. So 50% is the resultant weightage of sugar in that solution. 50% उसके अंदर sugar आएगा. Now 1 liter of this mixture is taken. इस 50% का वो कह रहा है 1 liter ले लीजिए, and mixed with 5 liters of another sugar and water solution having 20% water. इसके साथ मिला दिया. But this has 20% water. We are talking about sugar. So probably I would have to erase it. I would have to write sugar percentage as 80. If 20% is sugar, 80% is, 20% is water, 80% is sugar. 50 into 1 is 50. 80 into 5 is 400. 400 plus 50 is 450. 450 divided by 1 plus 5, 6. It is 75%. That means the resultant solution will have 75% sugar, and that is the right answer for us. ये आसान क्वेश्चंस की कैटेगरी में आते हैं. They should be done very fast. Rido answered this question correctly. Okay. Soumya probably missed it by something. कुछ mistake की Soumya आपने. Right answer for this question is 75%, and that brings us to the last question of the day. Question number 10 on your screen now. It is the last question of the day. I would like to see how many of you can answer this fast enough. कितना जल्दी आप आंसर करते हैं, that I want to see. Try to answer this question as fast as possible. Everyone can answer this question. It's a very easy question. And please, because it is the last question, do press the like button as well. People on YouTube, if you like this session, please do press the like button. That's the fee for these sessions, you can say. That's how you have to pay. Okay, so let's start doing it. I'll be doing this question in a little, once again, logical way. Rido has answered it and he's correct as well. Very good, Rido. You have been fast. Very, very good. Chaliye, let's start doing it. Three friends, Joshua, Bill, and Sandy, had money in the ratio of 4, 5, 6. Joshua, Bill, and Sandy. They have money in the ratio of 4, 5, 6. Let us say it is 4K, 5K, and 6K. One of their mutual friends, Nick, divided $100 among them in the ratio of 10, 6, 9. Now 10 plus 6 plus 9 is 25. 25 into 4 is 100. That means he gave $40 to Joshua and $24 to Bill and $36 to Sandy. These are the dollars that has been given by their friend Nick to these three people. Bill now has $10 more than Joshua. Bill has $10 more than Joshua. How is that possible? Just pay attention. From here, he has got $16 less. I want $10 more. So can I say this should be $26 more? So that 26 minus 16 becomes 10. Right? 40 minus 24 is 16. Ek jagah pe to he is having 16 less. At other place, he should be having 26 more. So that net he will be having 10 more. So if 26 more is 5K, then 4K, that means K, 4K minus 5K is 26. And if K is 26, what was the initial money with them? 4K plus 5K plus 6K, that is 15K. Or K ko 26 rakh doge, my answer would be $390. So $390, ye options galat hai. $390 is the right answer for this question. And that was the last question of the day. I'm sure you guys understood this. So now I see Nadim Palli and Mohan had also answered this question later on. Very good, guys. The correct answer is 390. That's the last question of this first session of our crash course for NMAT. Keep guys. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. I'm sure the session was useful for you. That's all for today. Bye bye. Tada and take care of yourself.